Hello and welcome to Why with Seth and Parker. My name is Parker,
My name is Seth.
and this is the weekly show where we tell corny jokes, give stupid answers to stupid questions, and discuss the cultural impact of the film Trolls World Tour. Seth, how are you doing today?
I'm doing a lot better now that I get to see your face, Parker.
Oh, your nose is very brown.
Oh, I'll clean it off real fast.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing fine. Just hanging out and, living the dream. It's been, I don't know, a, a normal week in the life. I started my summer classes, and so I'm doing that and just trying to stay out of trouble. What have you been up to?
You know what? Not too much. I've been baking a lot, made some millionaire shortbreads, which is pretty fun. And of course, I've started my brewing again, so making lots of beer and other alcoholic beverages,
Hey,
which, yeah, might as well make my own while the plague is going on.
might save you some money.
Exactly. Can't trust anything that comes out of the Corona factory.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I feel like I might be single-handedly keeping Eat Street afloat, which is like our local Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And so that's where all my money's going right now.
I, I've been thinking that I need to start making my own alcoholic sparkling water beverage of non-specific brand.
Is that
Um,
easy to make? Have you looked into how hard that is to make
I
something
have
like that?
not done extensive research on how something that rhymes with might malls um, makes their stuff, but I feel like it can't be that hard. I mean, you just ferment a bunch of cane sugar and add flavoring. That way I can make my own pumpkin spice alcoholic sparkling water beverage.
Well, then you could patent it and you could call it like Phoenix or something like that. You could reuse the name of a specific company that we're not advertising for. But
Or the eighth largest city in America.
that too. Um, so you could like sell it and then make money, and this could be your side gig.
I've been telling people that I'm not looking to commoditize my hobbies. I enjoyed
You're a
making.
terrible capitalist.
I know. I don't want to become a baker because I enjoy baking. I don't want to become a chef because I enjoy cooking. I don't want to necessarily become a White Claw patented, sorry, non-specific sparkling water beverage patent holder.
Hey, okay, that's fair. I support you in that decision.
I am not. I go with the flow, man. This is the new Parker. Just living life in 2020.
Hey, I kind of like the new Parker. He's actually sensitive to my needs.
And if you make your way to my neck of the woods, you can have some, hopefully in 6 weeks, some sparkling water beverage of alcoholic content.
See, you love me so much. You treat me too well, Parker Heinze.
Hey, I can't tell you that I'll be good. I can just tell you that I'll be free.
Hey, free is good. Free is good.
Exactly. I was talking with someone the other day, I kind of forget who, but I was telling them that back when I went to college, back in ye old days, I usually ask people, "Hey, how you doing? Anything I can do for you?" And they'd say, "Hey, can you do this assignment for me?" Ha ha ha. I said, "Of course I'll do that assignment for you. I just can't guarantee you'll get a good grade."
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure you said that to me a couple times.
I can get you some free alcoholic sparkling water beverages of non-specific brand, but I can't guarantee that it'll be good.
Hey, it's the effort that matters, Parker. I see your
That's not
effort.
true at all.
No,
No, that's how you end up with Everclear, Seth.
and that's a bad thing?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I've gone on record. Don't drink Everclear. That stuff is what they use to disinfect wounds.
Oh, okay. Noted. I don't actually think I've ever had Everclear now that I think about it.
Well, if you want to make a weekend that you are going to regret,
It's like every weekend, Parker.
it's the secret ingredient in jungle juice,
Oh, see, tequila's the
just like
thing that
Mama
makes me
used to make.
okay.
I joke, but my mom, we do have this pitcher in the household of Purple Passion, which is ye old jungle juice from the 80s.
Oh, okay. Is it any good?
I don't know. My mom wouldn't make it for me.
Aw.
But yeah, Seth, are you ready to answer some questions? Or do you have more to say in the preamble?
Well, not necessarily in the preamble, but we did talk about telling corny jokes, and I saw one this week that I wanted to share with you and our listeners. Now,
Excellent.
you might have already seen this, and so if you did, Parker, I'm sorry.
I won't ruin the joke.
Well, it's not. It's more just a pun. But what it says, a
Puns are
priest
jokes.
saying, "What? Let me tell the joke
Okay.
pun thing." A priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar. The bartender asks the rabbit, "What'll y'all have?" The rabbit says, "I don't know. I'm only here because of autocorrect."
Uh, that is pretty corny.
See, I try. I just want to contribute,
Well, thank you. I appreciate you bringing the corny joke this week.
Yeah,
But
that's once out of every 200 weeks.
something like
You're
that.
the corny joke pro. I'm just kind of here.
Yes, yes, you are. It's because I couldn't just talk to myself for an hour. That'd be bad radio.
Yeah, I'd listen to you.
Oh, then it'd just be like an audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I want to go into questions. Sound good?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, this question comes from Yahoo Answers. It asks, could knights see through their visors when they had their helmets on during combat?
They didn't wear those helmets during combat. Those helmets were used only for formal ceremonies. They had a different helmet that did not have a visor for combat.
Is that true?
I just pulled that out of my ass, Parker. I have no
Oh,
clue.
I mean, you sounded very confident in that.
See,
Because
that's the trick. You got to fake it till you make it. If you can sell it, people will believe you.
I was thinking, though, my pushback against that was, what about jousting?
See, that's different though, because the
Uh,
horse runs in a straight line. You don't have to see if you're jousting.
yeah, you do. You have to take the um, lance, is that what it's called? And you have to aim it at the shield.
Well, yes, but you only have to see a little bit for that. You're not in actual combat where you need to be able to have a field of vision.
And also, didn't they have like hinges where you could put the little metal thing up and down?
Yes,
Are you saying that the visor doesn't have a practical application?
it really.
It is just ceremonial?
It was just ceremonial, Parker. It could be. It could have a practical application for jousting.
Hmm.
Like I said, you don't need a full field of vision to joust, but outside of that, you need to. You should not be wearing that to battle.
But I think I want to push back against that because during the battle, you want to protect your eyes. That's what you see with. Fun fact.
Yes, but you have to be able to see to fight. If you have a very limited field of vision because you're got like slates covering your eyes.
I feel like that would make okay. Tangent point. Wouldn't
Okay.
that make the weirdest farmer's tan?
Yeah.
Like if you were wearing
This is
the visor
problematic all
down.
across the board, Parker.
I think I'd want to see someone with a visor tan like that. You know, I
A
feel
night
like
tan,
yeah,
a knight tan.
a night can't. But I honestly think that they just played through the pain. Like they're like, if you have a sword and a shield, you don't really need accuracy with one-on-one fights because
Eh,
you're swinging, you're swinging, you're swinging. It's not like you're worrying. Oh, I need to hit their left shoulder instead of their right.
I feel like the whole just design of knight armor was just poorly done.
Yeah. What would you suggest for improvements?
I am no historian, but I don't know when the change was made to like the chain armor or other forms of armor. Um, but even like the knight armor, as far as the body goes, doesn't look like it lends itself to much mobility.
I don't think mobility was there. I
If
think
you're gonna fight,
power.
you have to be mobile, and so that's why I'm saying this is all a ceremonial thing. It's not actually logistical for a fight.
Fair enough. I don't know too much about nights through history, but
I know nothing.
it's crazy.
So,
So
okay.
do you have another question for us, Seth?
Yeah, let's talk about this first question here. What type of apocalypse do you feel like you personally are most prepared for?
And who does that come from, might I ask?
It says Megan. Is this our friend Megan?
There's no other Megan that would write to us.
Oh, yes. Well, this is a shout out to Megan. This episode is brought to you by Megan, who needs to call us more. We miss her.
Well, hey, I mean, we need to get some incentives out there for the live show. If we're going to do a call-in show, we need to have some people email us. If
Yeah.
only there was a plug right here for our email, Seth.
You mean like emailing Seth and Parker at gmail.com?
Yes, that is a wonderful idea. Emailing any and all of my questions to sethandparker@gmail.com.
And no question is too stupid. No question is too raunchy. Well, okay, maybe we do have to censor it a little bit, but send us any question.
So it de- I feel like the question is inherently flawed because I don't think I am going to be around for any apocalypse.
You don't feel like we almost experienced an apocalypse with coronavirus?
No, I feel like an apocalypse has to wipe out at least 98% of the population.
Oh, like full on like
Yeah,
cut
that's
it
what the
down.
apocalypse is. Like, we're not even close to decimating the population right now.
Okay.
Decimating, taking away a tenth, that's a big event. It's not an apocalyptic event, though.
Okay.
Apocalypse is 98% or more.
I like those numbers, and that makes it very clear of what you're looking at. Um, as
And
far
I
as
don't see a chance that I will ever be in that 2%. I am not lucky enough and I am not skilled enough, which I think luck matters a lot more than skill does.
Yeah. Well, if I were to experience an apocalypse, I know I wouldn't survive a zombie apocalypse. I'm the stupid friend who would get everyone killed. Um, you know, I'm still not 100% sold on the Revelation apocalypse yet, where I'm going to be on that one. Um, that's still up in the air. We're figuring that out. But I will say, if we had an apocalypse of like raining cats and dogs, I think I could manage that one. I think I would survive that apocalypse.
Please tell me in this apocalyptic scenario how the cats and dogs are going to take out upwards of 7 billion people.
If they're falling from the sky, one, cats are like going to be freaking out. They land on their feet, so their claws are going to be out and ready, and that can cause harm to people. And dogs can be heavy, so they can just like thud and like kill someone.
That's just such a terrifying hypothetical to imagine.
Well, then let's talk. Like, how did that phrase even start? Like, what is the etymology of the phrase "it's raining cats and dogs"? Because you're right, that is a terrifying image when you really think about it.
I think that was just like the standard heavy thing in the household back in the day.
So it's
Like,
raining cats and dogs.
wow, it's really heavy out there, like my dog.
That's the only frame of reference that they have.
I guess so. It's raining stones and sticks. That's not.
Yeah, you're
That's
right. Or
that's
it's
really,
pouring rain.
yeah. But if I was to indulge the question that I'm going to be within the 2% that survives, I think I am personally prepared for endless winter. I mean, not nuclear winter. I don't think my coats could save me there. But like an ice age apocalyptic event, I think I could deal. I think I have amassed the skills required to get myself through at least, let's say, the first year of that apocalypse. I might be like on the edge between like the remaining 2% and dying within the 98%. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, so like you could make it pretty far, but you might not make it
Yeah,
all the way to the end.
I think so. But I still maintain 98% is the cutoff.
Okay.
None of this decimate or like one tenth of the population. Like, no, we need a proper Stephen King's The Stand murder event.
Okay. I haven't read that, but I will take your word for it.
I am reading it right now, and it is the biggest book ever. Like
Is it bigger than the Bible?
you think the Bible's big, but that has like what 52 books in it? No, this has one book. It's all one book, and the print is so tiny. It's like I am 20 something years old. I should not need like reading glasses to read this fine print. But Stephen King's like, nope, I'm going to make a 1,300 page book with tiny, tiny print.
And how does he have time to do that? Like, I barely feel like I have time or energy to like write 10 pages, you know?
Right? He's just a machine. Well, I can tell you how he did The Stand. Lots and lots of coke.
Oh yes. I think we talked about that last week a little bit.
Yeah, how much coke Stephen King did in the 80s and 70s.
You know, you do what you gotta do, I guess.
Do you feel like we satisfied that question
That
from our
was really
dear loyal friend Megan?
that was really well discussed. Let's go ahead. You want to ask the next one?
Yeah, but I do have a question now that we ended that. Seth, if you were like Megan and wanted to send us a question, where could you do that?
You could send us a question. You could one, comment on this video that you're watching. Two, email sethandparker@gmail.com. Or three, send a carrier pigeon.
Excellent. And if you want us to stop plugging our email every single question, then send us some questions.
Yes, we are scouring the internet for these.
Yes. This question comes from Ask Men on Reddit.
Okay, wait, is this number 3?
It is number 3.
Okay, so real fast before you get into this, I want to clarify because as I was reading it the first time, it reads you're almost like this is a gross question. Um and just to clarify, at the end, it's a pretty normal question and experiences, and it's within like an appropriate age boundary. Okay.
Okay. The question is, how am I supposed to react when someone shows me a picture of their hot daughter or niece? They go on to explain, I work with a bunch of moms and grandmas, so they're always showing me pictures of their kids or grandkids or nieces. I don't really know why, because I'm 22 and have no kids, maybe. But anyways, I never really know what to say, so I literally just go, oh, and try to think of a good question. And oftentimes it's, quote, some college hottie that I'm surprised is related to whoever showing it to me. So what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, so when I first read this, I was like, some old creeper and like a kid, but this is like college student swooning after a college student.
Yeah, it is like ages.
Yes, within those appropriate bounds. And I don't have a good answer to this, Parker, because you want to like not be weird, but you're like, are they single? Um, but also, I feel like some of those ladies would mention, this is my daughter, this is my granddaughter, she's single, and they kind of give that nudge nudge hint hint wink wink thing. If they were going for that, if they're just going for, look what my daughter did, you say, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've had this experience before. I've worked with some women, mainly, it's mainly women who do this around my mom's age. Um, so who are like, oh, this is my daughter, or this is blah, like they're showing off. That's basically what they're doing. They're like, I am proud of this child. You just happen to be reading it wrong most of the time. I'm allowing for the possibility that they're like, wow, this is my daughter. She's single. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But usually it's just like, hey, I'm an awesome mom. This is proof my daughter just won an equestrian tournament or whatever. I am so proud of her.
Okay.
You're allowed to say stuff like, wow, that's pretty cool. She has her mother's good looks. So
Aw,
stuff like that.
you
But
flirt, you.
That's who I am. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. Ladies love me, especially those my mom's and grandma's age.
I feel that.
But yeah, I mean, usually when you get to that age, I find they're more direct when they're like, "Oh, my daughter's single. Why don't you take her out? She loves Italian food."
Hey, I love Italian food.
Everyone loves Italian food. It is just one of those constants in life.
And Parker, you're Italian.
It is true. Um, but back to the question and off my Italian heritage. Um, I think you just ask a simple question. Usually, like, where do they go to college, or um, like where does that picture taken, stuff like that.
Yeah, and see
Because
if they maybe see if they lead into more.
yeah, they're looking to talk about their children and personal life. But that is my suspicion.
Okay.
Do not mention how good looking their child is unprompted.
I I would say it depends how you say they're good. Like you could say, "Oh, look, she's very pretty," or "Oh, he's adorable," like um however,
Usually, I think I should qualify that. Maybe you should say something like, "They look lovely in that dress." Like stuff like that makes it less creepy.
yeah, like something that's like a very mild flattering compliment, but not damn. Like
Yes,
don't go and do that.
and do not refer to them as a hot piece.
Yes. Or a college hottie.
Yes. Seth, would you like to ask a question? I think it's your turn.
Yeah, it probably is. I Okay, this one I feel like is really relevant. Recently, my favorite villager in Animal Crossing moved away. How do I deal with the abandonment of a computer character?
Seth, have you played Animal Crossing during
I,
this quarantine?
I have not. I would like to, but it's not at the top of my list of things that I would like to do.
What is at the top of the list of things you'd like to do?
Nap.
Okay. I'm glad you extract enjoyment from napping.
I love napping. Like I could sleep forever. Like when you just want to sleep forever, like the forever sleep, but not dying. That's where I'm at. I don't want to die, but I
Coma.
want to be. Oh yeah, that has
Coma
a
is what
word.
you're looking for.
Yes, I would love to be in a coma the rest of my life.
That wastes a lot of resources.
But and then on top of that, I have like several books I need to read. I'm trying to catch up on TV shows. Um, so adding a video game to the mix is not at the top of my priority list.
Well, do you know what Animal Crossing is?
Yeah, it's like this cute little RPG, fun game that people get to collect things and they have their own island, right?
Right. It just came out in the end of March. So it just synced up perfectly when it came to quarantine. So you have your own little island that you have with animal villagers, and you're allowed to do pretty much whatever you want. You can collect bugs, fish, build buildings and bridges and all that good stuff. And sometimes the villagers move away, Seth.
Aw.
They're like, hey, it was pretty cool that I lived here, but bye.
Well, and that's like when all my friends moved away to Kansas City and left me in Manhattan.
Yeah, I guess that's your fault, though.
I have like other friends, and I'm very thankful for all my friends.
I'm glad. I'm glad you have other friends besides me, because that'd be pretty sad.
Like my college group of friends moved away, and most of them went to Kansas City.
It's a nice place. City
Eh,
of fountains.
it's too big.
More boulevards than any city but Paris, and more fountains than any city but Rome. Which I find are two of the most Kansas City statements, not because they're descriptive, but because of those qualifiers. Like, our city has this record, except for this city. We're just second place in lots of things.
Kansas is just second place in a lot. Actually, it's not even second place.
Missouri.
Yeah.
I tell you, there's some. we'll get back to this question, but I just have to wax poetically about my hometown. That there's just something to be said about a city that straddles state lines. That it just speaks to me, you know.
No, I don't know, Parker.
There's two cities, but in more ways than one. Damn it! I wish I was Hemingway. I could just wax poetically about it. He was from KC.
Oh, okay. Fun fact Friday.
Yeah. Also, Walt Disney got his start in KC.
Okay, cool.
But
Ugh.
back to the question about Animal Crossing and how to deal with the abandonment of a computer character. Seth, do you have thoughts on making emotional connections with computer characters?
Not computer characters, but I am very experienced with making emotional connections with fictional characters in books.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes you just have to put it down and cry and scream and be pissed and then find a way to move on.
And how do you find your way to move on, Seth?
Usually it's through non-specific alcohol brands.
Ah. Well, this is a little bit more specific to the Animal Crossing part, but um, another bus comes every 15 minutes. You'll get a new villager. Hopefully, you'll like them a lot. Um, what?
I've never played Animal Crossing, but I'm just like, oh, so you get new friends every 15 minutes?
Not every 15 minutes. Um, but no, that's like a saying where you know what comes after the one, the next one. But
Number two?
yep, in one of the Animal Crossing games, there actually is a bus that comes every 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just not this one.
I've never played Animal Crossing, so thank you for enlightening me.
It's the one on the Wii. Let me tell you, back in the day, I was just a killer on the Wii.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that was a pretty fun game system too. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the Wii and felt like it was really versatile.
Yep, and I killed at Wii bowling.
Yeah. I got to the point where I just sit on the couch and flick my wrist and hope for the best.
Come on, you gotta sweat for the game. Okay, I think I'm gonna ask another question.
Okay, let's do it.
This one comes from Yahoo and it asks, is duct tape flammable? I find this a very important question, and I really want you to know the correct answer because I don't.
Anything's flammable if you try hard enough.
That's not a good answer. Try again. Try again.
Parker, my job is not to give good answers, it's to give stupid answers.
You're supposed to be entertaining answers, and that was just not entertaining.
Well, anything's flammable if you try hard enough.
Nope.
I would say duct tape's flammable.
You think so?
Yes.
You think if you just like take some off the roll, light it on fire, or do you have to like break it down?
I feel like it would probably melt if you're like lighting it on fire, or like if you're just trying to light it directly on fire. But if it's surrounded by other things that can be on fire, it would join the fire. It's like a party.
So you think it'd be a good starter?
Maybe not a starter, but a continuation.
Okay. Um, the reason I'm thinking of this is because duct tape seems to be the go-to survival tool when it comes to internet culture. If you remember the Mythbusters, they did a whole episode about duct tape myths, and it could do a lot. Like they built a boat with duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if it was flammable, that would just be another point in its favor for the survivalists.
If it was flammable or
If it
wasn't.
was,
Yeah.
then you could start a fire and then build a boat and sail away from your deserted island. You know?
Yeah. Well, and so, Parker, I did look up the real answer. Would you like to
Oh,
know the real answer?
I would.
So I feel like this is a safety thing. It says technically part of the duct tape is flammable. The fabric-like mesh at its core is flammable. But the adhesive used for duct tape includes rubber, which doesn't burn either. That means duct tape isn't technically a flammable product.
Boom, roasted.
But like I said, Everything's flammable if you try hard enough.
I think you need to know there's a difference between being able to burn and flammable.
What would that difference be, Parker?
The effort involved.
Oh, okay. Flammable being more like accidental.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, no. Flammable means that you can try it with relatively easy means. Like a diamond is flammable, but you have to have a very hot flame. Blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
like everything's flammable if you try hard enough.
Okay, okay. It seems like we're not making any progress in this. So ask me another question.
Okay. So the next question I want to ask is, what's something you have done less than 70 times?
I chose this question because what an oddly specific number.
Yes.
I feel like maybe they just wanted to ask us, what have you done 69 times? Do you think that's what's
Nice.
going on?
I think so. Like, or less. Like they wanted to be inclusive because let's be honest, who keeps track of how many times they do all the activities?
Exactly. Like, you know the old rule that you have to do something 1,000 times just to become a master. You never think about what you do like less than 70 times.
Yeah. So what, Parker? What's something that comes to mind for you that you've done less than 70 times?
Um, Eat French food. Does that count?
Yeah, I would say
I,
eat Greek food for me.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different areas of food I've had less than 70 times.
Yes. I have definitely had Italian food more than 70 times.
Yes, everyone has because it's the law.
Yes, I agree. I traveling, flying on planes less than 70 times.
I feel like if I was to sit and count, it might be right at straddling the line.
Yeah. That I'm kind of jealous of that. That's pretty cool.
Um, I told you my two airport theory, but I want to share you the quote from Douglas Adams that says, I find it no coincidence that no human language has the saying as lovely as an airport. Airports are not necessarily the highest uh, mental state to be in.
I
No,
love I like airports. I
there's a
really
time and a place.
there's a time and a place. I've moved less than 70 times.
That's true. Is moving on your mind right now?
No, I'm staying for another year in my place.
Oh, I was thinking on your couch.
Oh, no, I'm gonna stay on the couch for the rest of my life. No,
Huh.
my next plan is to get a non is to go to a non-specific restaurant and get a cherry flavored drink with lime in it, uh, and also potentially a blue drink with coconut flavoring in it.
And then add some non-specific vodka to it.
I was thinking Malibu.
Mm.
So,
That's a specific brand.
oh yes, but okay, so a non-specific rum.
Yeah, a non-specific coconut rum.
Yes, exactly. I've adopted pets less than 70 times. I've gone through less than 70 phones.
That's good.
Um, I'm kind of just looking around my house trying to see if that sparks anything.
Gotta think about things you haven't done often.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
it's not even having done
oh,
often.
I haven't set a diamond on fire more than 70 times.
Have you done that any times?
Nope, but that's less than
It's less than
70.
70, right? Okay, so Parker, this begs a question because we're about to get into the semantics of math. Um,
Ugh.
I know. Turn on your brain. Go take a shot so you're ready for this. But this is a legit question. What is greater, infinity or um, infinity plus infinity?
Uh, this is not what people have come to this for. My thoughts on the multitude of infinity.
So which one's greater?
Infinity plus infinity.
Okay, so
Final
like
answer.
I'm in the same boat. I'm like you have twice as much infinity, so yeah, that's greater. But I was in a math class, and the professor was very adamant that they were equal. Um, And I'm still no, you have more infinity on this side than you have on this side. It doesn't matter that infinity is never ending. You have more of the never ending on one side.
Uh, well, thanks for that.
You're welcome. So we're on the same page with that one, Parker.
We are, which is nice.
So, but if there's any mathematicians that are listening to our show that would like to submit math questions for us to discuss, they can send those to sethandparker@gmail.com.
That's Seth and Parker at gmail.com. Seth, would you like?
SETHANDPARKER at sign GMAIL.com.
Seth, I think we have time for one more question. Would you like to ask it?
We probably do. Let me see which ones. We're doing a really bad job of crossing these out.
I don't know how to do it on them newfangled Google Docs.
It's mine is Command Shift X. So
D-
yours is probably Control Shift X.
Ask me a question, Seth. Don't tell me how to use my computers.
I'm just trying to help.
That's the
Okay,
worst part.
I know. Is it normal to be freaked out by touching microfiber cloths? When touching them, it feels like life and moisture is being channeled out through my fingers.
That's a good question.
It's a very specific question.
Do you have microfiber rags around your household?
I do, and I wouldn't go as far as saying they suck the life and moisture out of my fingers, but they definitely have a very unique and off-putting feel.
Yeah, I sympathize with this question. I much prefer your traditional cloth rags when it
Yes.
comes to household use. Mainly, I associate microfibers with, like doing a little car wash. You
Yeah.
know, do it. It's nice when your hand is completely dry. If there's a speck of moisture, it's like, nope, I do not like this touch. It you does not register if there is no moisture on my hand.
Yeah. It's definitely like a sensory. There's definitely a weird sensory component to these, which is one of the reasons I think they're successful.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say with that one.
No more about microfiber cloths.
You know what? I just want to affirm this person's feelings of
Yes,
it
it
being kind of
is
freaky.
normal to be freaked out. They are freaky freaks of nature. They do
I
not come from naturally occurring things, I don't think.
and I'm the same. Like, give me a good old cloth rag or paper towels, and we're good. Like, yes, same boat. End of story.
So, Seth, what did we learn today?
Oh, we learned several things, Parker. We learned that somewhere in history, someone in history has had a night tan.
It's weird to think about. So just a tan of all the slots on the night helmet. We also
Yes.
learned that Seth has not eaten Greek food 70 times.
We also learned that technically duct tape isn't flammable.
And we learned a little bit more about the city of fountains, Kansas City, and who all's from there.
We did.
Hemingway, Disney.
Parker
It's a great
Heinze.
place. Come visit.
Very good. Well, folks, thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week as we continue to give bad advice, make more inappropriate jokes, and answer the age-old question, hey, what's in these brownies? In the meantime, send an email to sethandparker@gmail.com with any questions you might like us to discuss.